You can definitely tell you're in the harder section here. These are some difficult words for number 2. So let's take a look at the sentence and see what we can get. Within baleen whales species, some individuals develop an accessory spleen, a seemingly functionless formation of splenetic tissue outside the normal spleen. Given the formation's greater prevalence among whales known to make deeper dives, some researchers hypothesize that its role isn't blank. Rather, the accessory spleen may actively support diving mechanisms. Well, yeah, there's a lot of tough words in here, but you really got to notice the easy two, right? So rather, it's active. So they're clearly making a contrast here. So we want a word that means the opposite of active. So how about inactive, right? That's my guess for what they're saying here. Some researchers hypothesize that its role isn't inactive, rather the accessory spleen may be actively supporting diving mechanisms, right? So notice it's not really even about vocab, it's about understanding the logic of the sentence. And they do give you these really big clues, words like rather, that are gonna show us a contrast. You wanna be able to notice those. So let's just see, is there a word that means inactive? Well, replicable means something is reproducible, right? The root word here is replicate. So that's a fancy word for copy. So this is copyable is really what we're dealing with here. Is it copyable? Well, no, they're not talking about something being copied. So this is just a random word. Its role isn't predetermined. Well, again, this is just a random word. If something's predetermined, it's kind of like inevitable maybe is a good synonym. Predetermined means it's set beforehand, right? Before, determined, kind of like set in stone, right? So I just don't know what that would even mean in this case. Like it's just a nonsense answer. It isn't operative. Now here we're getting to a little bit of a trap. Operative means active, right? It's operating, it's working, it's doing something. So this would be the trap answer if you didn't notice that they were trying to go with a contrast. So this definitely makes a little sense with the context of the passage, but it's definitely a trap, hoping that you missed what they're trying to say. But choice D is the correct meaning and the correct answer. Latent means, yeah, kind of like something like inactive or hidden. Something like that. I don't know the root of that word, but yeah, it just means that. It means exactly what we need it to mean. And maybe if you didn't know that, at the very least, if you knew some of these other words, then you can still always get these vocab questions right by eliminating everything else. So don't be afraid to pick a word that's maybe a little difficult for you. If you know the other words and you know they don't fit, then pick whatever's left over.